All right, if you're watching this video, you are interested in 3-point perspective. So just as we did 1 and 2-point perspective, we are just building on prior rules with a little bit addition here to a third vanishing point. Now, when we start this, I actually think it's helpful to have more of a vertical paper. So you might want to put your paper up and down in like a portrait style. We are going to have a horizon line, and we are going to have 2 vanishing points on our horizon line, just like we did 2-point perspective, but now we have an addition of a 3rd point right down below here. Now, the only difference between 3-point and 2-point perspective is that everything that would have been vertical in 2-point is now going to go to this bottom vanishing point instead. So for starting 2-point, we're going to be drawing a vertical line. If we're starting 3-point, we're drawing a kind of orthogonal line down towards this vanishing point. Just like in 2-point, we're going to take our bottom of this line and top of this line and go towards our 2 vanishing points on our horizon line. Use your ruler if you need to. We are now going to cut our shape off, except this time when we cut our shape off here and here, they aren't going to be vertical or even parallel to this one because they're all going to be orthogonal to your bottom vanishing point. So I'm gonna kind of use a pen as a poor man's ruler. Just because this one's a little bit trickier. Like that. So now I have 3 orthogonal lines, and if I even extended those lines, you could see that they're all going to this bottom vanishing point. We're going to cut off this shape just like we did before. So up here, we're going to go to the opposite side vanishing point, and up here, we're going to go to the opposite side vanishing point. So now we have, if I can use my pen, I can draw my building in 3-point perspective. I can erase my guidelines. I'm not going to erase my vanishing points because I might need them for a different form later. And there is my building in 3-point perspective. So I'm going to go ahead and add on to this. So what if I wanted a building next to it? Similar to 2-point perspective, when you're building buildings this way, it's the same thing except that these verticals on the sides of your buildings are going to go to your orthogonal line instead of vertical. So I'm going to go straight up there. So there's my first one. I'm going to take the top and the bottom and go to my vanishing points. I'm going to cut off the form going to my bottom vanishing point there. Maybe this one is kind of tucked behind this building. So since this building's on top, I'm not going to draw that line through, but it would go through right here. Then I'm going to take these 2 top lines and go to the opposite side vanishing point. Like that. I can add in my ink. And I can erase my guidelines. Now, if you were going to draw one of these, but let's say the building was so tall that it went above this horizon line, it would be only slightly different. So I'm going to put in a building back here, and it's going to be so tall and tucked behind these other 2 buildings. Now, this is actually a little bit easier because you don't see the top of it. So I'm going to go from this top point and go to this vanishing point and this vanishing point. When I cut off the sides, it's going to go to this orthogonal line. Just like that. And I honestly don't see the bottom of the building, so that is all you would have to draw. So sticking a building behind is actually pretty simple. Now, using these basic rules, you can build tons of buildings in 3-point perspective. And of course, you can get way more complicated than I am being in this one, but this is just kind of a simple start. Here's my horizon line that I still want to keep around. Now, if I wanted to do roads or anything, they would all be the same rules. So I could have a road kind of coming down here to my vanishing point. I could have it going back up to this vanishing point. So you can do all sorts of little details for your roads and alleyways and other buildings, whatever you want to put in here. If I wanted to do some extra details on these buildings, similar to the 2-point perspective. 2-point perspective, we had our sides vertical, but instead of vertical, they're going to be orthogonal. So this is going to be pointing to this vanishing point. This is going to be pointing to that vanishing point. And then the tops and bottoms are depending on what side of this corner it's on. This one is to the left of the corner, so it's going to go to this vanishing point. If it was on this side of that corner, it would go to this vanishing point. So I'm going to just draw that top edge in and my bottom edge in. And then that would be my window in accurate perspective. I could even make this one like full of glass. So I'm just going to use poor man's ruler again here. These are just going towards my left side vanishing point, like that. These are going to go to the right side vanishing point. Oops. That's why you draw with a pencil before you draw with a pen. Oh well. Like that. So there are many, many things you can do in 3-point perspective. It's pretty fun and it looks pretty cool. You can like add stuff in just freehand as well, like a little, oh my goodness, this one's drag racing. A little airplane or something like that. You could do like some mountains in the background, whatever you want to do. The world's your oyster from here. There we go. I just made Denver. And that is 3-point perspective.